We Are Islamic Republic, Part 56. The main proposals of Nehru Committee were constitutional guarantee of fundamental rights including full freedom of conscience and liberty, a strong central government responsible for peace, order, and good government, with all powers except those specifically given to the provinces, an all India parliament with two houses, universal suffrage for the lower house and also the provincial councils. No reserved seats for Muslim except in the central parliament, where one quarter would be reserved. The new constitution envisaged religious liberty, hence no separate electorate so as to bring about the national unity. The views of the Muslim League were ignored. Mr. Jinnah proposed four important changes to make the proposal acceptable to Muslims. One third of the elected representatives of the central parliament to be Muslim. In the provinces of Punjab and Bengal, seats should be reserved for Muslims on a population basis. In the event of adult suffrage not being established, seats should be reserved for Muslims on a population basis. Residuary powers should be left to the provinces and not with the central government. Sindh and North Western Frontier Province (NWFP) to have full provincial status. The committee rejected these suggestions. For Muhammad Ali Jinnah, it was a calamity. All his political life, he had believed that the Hindu Muslim could work together for an independent India. Their refusal to compromise made further cooperation impossible. Why did the Nehru Committee reject Muslim proposals? There is no doubt that the failure of the Nehru Committee to accept any Muslim proposals did great damage to Hindu Muslim relations. Mr. Jinnah had hoped that it would lead to an agreement between the two groups, as important as the Lucknow Pact had been. It would have been impossible for the British to reject a united front. Why did Motilal Nehru refuse to make any compromise? Perhaps he was not prepared to risk criticism from his fellow Congress members, but he also firmly believed that India should become a single united nation with no political distinction between Muslims and Hindus. Separate electorates and representation would, in his views, have further divided the Indian people. In Britain, people did not vote on the basis of how they worshipped, but Motilal Nehru did not take into account the very long standing and deeply held differences that existed between the two religious communities. What was the importance of Mr. Jinnah's 14 points? In response to the crisis over the Nehru report, Mr. Jinnah prepared his famous 14 points written in March 1929. Mr. Jinnah's 14 points, the League, after anxious and careful consideration, most earnestly and emphatically lays down that no scheme for the future constitution of the Government of India will be acceptable to Muslims of India until and unless the following basic principles are given effect and provisions are embodied therein to safeguard their rights and interests. Well, in those days, Woodrow Wilson, the Democratic Party president after Civil War in USA, also came along with 14 points for international peace. He was the one who stood against the secret treaties of the nations, and there is a similarity between the Woodrow Wilson's 14 points and Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah's 14 points. Let's read them all in the next video as we go along.